may have noticed, but I don't think we're in any kind of danger otherwise we cancel services, but just in case, we're going to keep the doors locked so that no one comes and gets into not supposed to. Anybody's welcome, unless you're a fugitive from the law right now. Unless they want to turn themselves in, we'll talk to them. A little excitement to tell you about my last 2 days. I left my house at 2:53 to pick up Isabella from the junior high. Picked her up, was back at my house about probably 3:10ish, and there was about 15 to 20 police cars in the driveway right next to the thing, and I was like, well, this is different, you know. Whether they want a donation or, you know, I don't know. But anyway, they were all businesslike, and you know, they really wasn't a whole lot of words other than they did say, you know, that everything was safe right now. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. I don't know what that means, and found out the story a little bit, but they had searched my house. A lot of times we leave the side garage door open, unlocked, in case you get locked out. It's easy to get in, and but usually it's such that, you know, I've got some stuff there that it's obvious still someone's been in there. But anyway, so since it was open, you know, unlocked, they checked just to make sure that no one was hiding out. No one was, so that's good. Huh? Cleta was outside. I don't know. She left shortly after that, though. I don't know if she's returned yet or not. But I know Izzy wasn't too comfortable, so I had to do some things at Walmart and other things, so we did our Walmart shopping and did some other things. But needless to say, apparently there's a second guy that may be the actual, you know, so anyway, he's still somewhere. So I will say this: we've had a lot of police force in town. You know, not the time if you were wanting to speed or anything like that. Probably not be the occasion to do it right now. So to me, I feel safe in one sense. The public area is probably safer now than they could be no matter what. So, but pray that the person is apprehended in a way that no one's injured or no one's hurt. You know, a lot of times our law enforcement, especially things like these times, they don't get the respect they deserve, and you know, it is something that they, in times like this, they really risk their lives at times, and you know, it is something that they have training for times like this, and I'm glad they do, and but you know, they do that, and I'm glad they do, and so it is something that, much like the military, a lot of times they're not respected, and everybody just sometimes looks at the things they don't like about them. And we need to understand that they indeed provide a valuable service, and we are very grateful for what they do. And sometimes it's a shame that it's things like this that brings that to light. But anyway, I think the schools have handled things well, and we have to. Any comments on that? You know, the thing I think, you know, I know some of the kids are a little scared. I know in school, Hayden was talking about the closed system where, you know, it does shake them up a little bit. They know it's something different. But you know, I think we need to know they're safe, but, you know, sometimes you got to take precaution. You know, there used to be a time when you can leave your house unlocked, you can leave your cars unlocked, you never have to worry about anything. And, but we don't live those times anymore. It's a little safer in places like this. We don't think of it a lot, but stuff like this doesn't bring it to light. But anything that, and you know, these people, as far as I know, they're not actually from Boonville. You know, they are from Boonville. Okay.
People that were killed. The lady was from Boonville. She's from Alden, and that was her grandmother.
But they live in Fort Smith.
They live in Fort Smith. And this boy went to school with James and Jordan. He did not graduate with them.
Oh.
He moved last year to Fort Smith. His boy, they're not.
I know you look young. So that's why he stuck, that's why he stayed here.
Yeah, Jordan said they still had him on their class group Snapchat thing. Said if you turn his phone on, they could tell the police were. Wow. I said, well, okay.
Hey, hopefully he does. Okay, well, anyway, it's just scary that, things like this, you know, I have every confidence that they won't be wrong, they will catch up.
You know, I do have one comment, Jim. I think kids are gonna react the way their grown-ups around them react. If you build it up and make a big deal, the kid's gonna be really scared. So, you know, all the adults need to keep their cool and put things in focus like it really is. So the kids don't get so undone. They can pretty easy, particularly with a bunch of policemen around.
Well, yes, well, it doesn't take rocket scientists to realize that things are different right now. I mean, you don't normally see that many police cars riding around. I mean, you know, I don't even think at Reed's they have that many police, you know, on a regular basis. I have determined that you know, in our town at least, the police officers, they go more for the barbecue than they do the donuts. So, which is good for Steve, but anyway, you know, I saw more than even I see every Reed, so there's a lot out there. That's something a little different. And so of course, you know, Steve could probably feel this place is the safest place in town, because, you know, they always frequent there. But you're right. Although it is, you know, but there are times that adults get scared as well, and so sometimes it's hard to do that. You do your best, but you reassure your kids, you know, that things are being done to the best that people can do. But you do need to be careful. There's I know Johnny Sue didn't feel comfortable leaving her house. It's being out nowhere as it is, and then coming back to the house and, you know, the dark and everything. Yeah, I understand that, so, you know, I appreciate things. I recommend, you know, first thing I did after I found out, I locked that door. So I don't have that door. You can't get in that way. You get locked out. You get locked out. That way, hey, you come to the place, you get locked out. But, anyway, it's even like us tonight, you know. We taken just a few precautions to just keep the doors locked so that someone can. There are some churches that went to that technique anyway, because, you know, churches are vulnerable at times, and so we do that. We don't really have a need, I don't think, do it on a regular basis, but something like this probably is best to do it. The school's kind of a similar thing. They, you know, I will say this, since we have moved here, the Boonville School, I know, I can't speak for Magazine, I don't know that personal knowledge, but I know the Boonville School, they have been proactive on a lot of security things for a long time. I know when we first moved here, one of the first things that, you know, they showed, they had these little put in, you know, real simple devices they could put into the doors, keep them from being open, you know, if there was an intruder or something like that. And, you know, I know one of the big shootings in Florida, you know, if they had that, a lot of people would have probably not lost their lives from that, because, you know, they was able to get in through the doors, shoot through the doors, and things, this would prevent that. So, you know, you do your best, even though something usually is not likely. The scary thing, someone like him that is a fugitive now, you never know what someone may resort to in a case like this. Because it's pretty major what he's up against in the courts of law whenever he does get caught. And even though he's very young, he's over 18, so he's going to be prosecuted as an adult in the rears. You know, it's not going to be a, you know, he's going to have a lot of fun. So pray, I can't imagine the family involved. A lot of times we think about different things, but you know, the family, I can't imagine what they're going through, because I'm sure there's other family members that are just, it's just horrible when one of your own does something so atrociously. But anyways, anything else we need to make mention of? Everybody does know what's going on, by the way. I mean, we're talking kind of like this, so I see everybody else know. No one just came in here like, having no clue?
I don't know who the boy lived with when he went to school here, or he can do. I don't think there's any shortages that I know of. I don't know, did you know, no, you're too young, Pete, you probably didn't know him, he was in Sarah James' class. I don't know who he might be related to in Louisville. Sure, S-H-O-R-E, yes. Like the shore and all that.
Yeah, see, I mean, of course, you know, thinking about high school now, you get separated because, you know, generally you have the ones that are taking the more AP or college type courses, and you have, you know, kids that take the other. And so if you're not taking a lot of college, you know, like with James, for example, you know, he would have no classes with those except that's what they made. And so, so I didn't know that.
Well, I don't think that Jordan had any classes with him or not, but I think their whole class has got this group thing going where they can share with one another, talk to one another on whatever it is that they're on.
Right.
But, well, go over my house, he was on there, on whatever it is they do, you know, on Sarah's phone and talking to us in the living room, you know, over there. She's in Fort Smith. Y'all got kids that do that sort of thing. Yeah, her phone rang where I said.
Well, just, you know, just everybody be cautious, you know, that's all I recommend, you know. You know.
I just hope they find him so Sarah and Noah will go home tonight and sleep in their own bed.
Well,
See, they just live a block from all that that's going on down there.
yeah, well, like I say, you know, I don't know.
They can't get to their house right now.
Well, I couldn't get in my house yesterday when I came home, so I was like, well, let's see. I walked to the side of the road and just started walking out there. That easy. No, they weren't threatening to me. I just like, yeah, that would. Now, let me tell a story. I have had that happen to me. Now, you know, you see things on movies and you kind of wonder what it'd be like in real life. When I first started working for the city of Columbia, in Columbia, Tennessee, I was the city engineer, I was the chief code enforcement officer, I was the chief building official too. And you know, I had a prominent job in a city about 40,000, good sized city. And so, you know, I had a lot of responsibilities. Early on, I mean, I worked a lot of late hours, and originally they had the alarm system is down on the second floor. My office, I mean, the main floor, my office is on the second or third floor. I can't remember now. But anyway, so I'd have to go down the stairs, I'd have to disengage the alarm system, walk back upstairs, go to my private parking space that I had in the parking garage, and I'd have to come back down to the bottom and then go back and lock it. It'd take about an extra 15, 20 minutes just to do that. And so I said, you know, so anyway, we could put a keypad up here where I can just disarm the alarm from up here and set it so I can just leave without going back in. They said, yeah, sure. So they did it. And people came in and they said, oh, we're ready. So tonight, all you got to do is just do like you did upstairs, enter the alarm and this, you know, and whatever. And of course, this City Hall building, one of the biggest buildings in town. And so I said, okay, that's great. I enjoy that. So I worked late. I was the last person there. So I turned the lights off. I did the alarm and did it off. And did something a little different. Didn't quite do like it, you know, thing. But anyway, I did it. And so then I opened the door. As soon as I opened the door, the alarm started going off. So I'm like, well, I've got to go downstairs, so I might as well. So I got in my vehicle, I drove downstairs, and so then I get into the City Hall, the bottom part, and I open the door and I disengage the alarm, and then I walk outside. And it was more than 15 for the bigger city, but there was police everywhere in this parking garage, and they had the maneuver where they had a kind of an angle where the doors were open and everybody had their guns drawn. And so I come up and indeed, I was like, luckily though, one of the police officers recognized, oh, that's the city engineer. You know, they said, I don't shoot the city engineer, so we just hired him. So anyway, but it's a little different experience when you're in that, you walk out there and I mean, you see all these, and like I said, they got their gun pointed at you. But needless to say, I was impressed. I said, that's some really good reaction time, because it couldn't have been more than 30 seconds or so that they were there. Of course, we had a direct alarm. When our alarm sounded, the police department, which wasn't far from us, and so, anyway, so it was interesting. Yeah, no, they were much friendly. No one drew their gun at me or anything, so I felt safe. But, but anyway, so I lived through that. That was interesting, though. But by the way, what's interesting was the city government, city politics sometimes, they gave the city a ticket for it was, the alarm had went off, I think, the third time, and they had a city ordinance that, they asked people to sticker for it. The city ordinance for, if it, false alarm more than 2 times, you got a ticket for it, a citation for it. So they sent my department a citation. I said, well, this is crazy. I mean, there's no way I'm going to pay it. I mean, it's out of my budget of my department. So anyway, they waived it. They said yes, so that was obviously. But then they fixed it. Next day, it went fine. Although I was a little scared. I pushed the button like, is it going to be okay when I open the door? But it was. So they did fix it the next time. Makes you wonder sometimes. Somebody just said, well, let's just see what else. What trick on the city here tonight? See what's on. Anyway. I think before we move on, we probably anything else. I know we talked a lot about what's going on, but any other things as far as our sick or anything like that, anything we mention out. Let's have a prayer before we begin our class. Our Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight, and we know we live in days that sometimes are bad people, bad things happen. Lord, we pray that you be with all the law enforcement officers that are diligently working to apprehend the one that's on the loose. We pray that eventually the things will work out where he will be captured in a way that there will be no injuries or please that there will be no deaths or anything like that. We pray that things will be back to normal soon. We may be that shining light, but people may understand that the answers, the peace that we all seek is only found through Christ. In Christ's name we pray. Is that my phone?
Oh, yeah.
I think I forgot to turn I need to turn the Wi-Fi off because it does better on cell.
You do that.
Kings, and last week we've got talking about Samuel the last judge. I wanted to focus on a couple of things on that. Okay, kings over united Israel. And of course, we read that Samuel, when Samuel became old, he, kind of was going to let his sons they were judges over Israel as well. But they weren't like Samuel. And that probably had something to do with it, although, as we've seen, we went through the book of Judges, and it was by no means the first judges, the people that were judges, or even the first children that were not quite like their fathers. And so, I think in one sense, sometimes people can use excuses. And so, I think this sentiment of wanting a king had obviously been building. And we're going to see some of the logic they used why they needed a king in their eyes. And so what we see here is that they use a little bit of excuse, your sons don't walk away. Now, appoint us a king to judge us like all nations. And really that was the bottom line. They wanted to be like everyone else. And so often we want to be like someone else, and instead of just taking care of our own. Oftentimes we want to have especially it seems like in our country sometimes we are such a blessed nation and have such prosperity, but the bad that sometimes comes with that is you see someone else and and they got all these things, and so we want those same things. And sometimes it's not all it's cracked up to be. Sometimes the pursuit of those things require you to do things that you're not the person you really should be. Sometimes it requires you to put money first, to put job first, to put other things first that are not actually as important as serving God. And so, we see this over and over. I mentioned quite often in the church where I preached at some point when my dad was preaching there, and there were 3 men who worked at this factory, this plant, that they made, at that time, B-52 wings. The name of the plant was called AFCO. I don't know what it's called now. It's called something else. But they still make different kinds of fighter wings for military and stuff. But anyway, a good paid job, and so these people made good money. But 2 of them, it seemed like they always, maybe at most, maybe one Sunday of the month, they would be there. And you'd always ask them, we missed this, or I had to work. I had to work. And we noticed that this other man, he was a deacon there, and he had a job there as well, and he was always there every single Sunday. And one time we asked him, I said, well, why is it that, such and such and such and such, they're now almost never here because they have to work, and you never have to work. What, do you have a higher up job? And they do. He said, no, we're all at the same level. We have the exact same job, actually. And we're like, well, how come they have to work and you don't? And he just kind of grinned, shook his head, said, well, the truth is they don't have to work. He said, all work on Sunday at that plant was voluntary. And said, but the thing is, it's voluntary, but they pay double time. And so not only do you get time and a half of work overtime, but there you get double time on Sundays. And so what it is, they chose, basically, they love that double time money, because they already made it really high. I mean, it was, I forget the actual numbers, but even back then, it was a large number per hour that they made. And so they couldn't resist that double time money. And so they would, instead of worshiping God and going to church, they would go and get that money that they would get. And the thing is, a lot of times we want to be like other people. So we see what other people have, and we want to be like them. It means we've got to throw away what maybe something about us. And so here we see that that's the case. They want to be like everyone else. Everyone else is our king. We need to have a king. And there's so much that you can do with that. There's some saying, well, such and such country, you don't have to pay for this, you don't have to pay for that. Well, the big twin lines, they don't have to pay for that because they pay so much taxes that in essence they are paying for it, if you actually do twin lines. But a lot of times the sin is we want to be like other people because they get this, they get that. And instead of just taking care of trying to do the best of what we can. But, they want to be like other nations. But were they like other nations? Were they ever to be like other nations? Should Christians ever be like the world? And so the whole falsehood here is that they had taken this premise that they wanted to be like everyone else, but yet they were to be God's chosen people. They were to be different. And so when they stopped being different, they did become like everyone else, and so they would face the same type problems that everyone else would face, and including war. Basically, there's not much from here until whenever. Basically, only Solomon really didn't see a lot of war during his time. Everyone else, pretty much, there was some type of war or battle that they would see. There was this country trying to infiltrate them and take them over, or this, that, and eventually they would. Because they indeed would become just like every other country. Because they would leave God behind. But anyway, Samuel loved the fact that Samuel, even in this, don't know how much. It's really hard to tell. My guess is Samuel probably had an idea or understand a little bit about his sons. Although, as with the case of Eli, it's pointed out that Eli did indeed know, and that they lived where Eli lived. Samuel's sons did not actually live in the same town as him, so it could be that Samuel didn't know to the degree what his sons were like. But whether he did or didn't, you can imagine, someone says something about your family, what's your natural reaction? Someone says something that you know is not right, what's your natural reaction? We talked about it being kind of angry. That would be to come right back at him. But what did Samuel do? What did Samuel do when all this took place? And they wanted the king. They told about his worthless sons, and he prayed. you know, wouldn't that be a good thing? If someone says something that just really makes you mad, someone says something that, you know, instead of firing off a text or putting something on, you know, sometimes, bless their heart, I can tell sometimes how old a person is by when something just doesn't go their way or they don't like something, how quickly they respond on Facebook or send a text on something, because, you know, you'll see a lot of people that, you know, something will hit them the wrong way and they just immediately have to fire something off. And a lot of times they may not even know all the details or they don't know the circumstance, and then they have to kind of retract and do other things. Wouldn't it be great if maybe when we don't like something that's going on or somebody has offended us, maybe just to say a prayer? Take a pause before we actually act on something. That'd be good advice. Anyway, God tells them they rejected him. They didn't reject. By the way, I included this. We might not have time to read all through this, but we're familiar with Psalms 23, but you know, a later king would actually write this: "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." They wanted to be like other nations. Why? Well, they thought they had all this prestige, all this glory, all this wealth, or whatever, and they wanted to. But David would say, and this is the way the child of God should be: "The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures." They were afraid they wanted the king to go fight their battles, but who would fight their battles? Well, God was always willing to fight the battles. And so David would say in Psalms 23, "You go walk by the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff comfort me. You prepare a table for me, presence of my enemy. You anoint my head with oil." Why would they need a king? So anyway, God says, do what they say, but tell them what it's going to be like. And, you know, we have a lot of the same things. Of course, you know, God tells us to go into the world. God didn't give us a quota, though, did he? Aren't you glad he did? It would make no sense. By the way, some would wind up filling the quota, then what would they do? Well, they don't have to do anything. Well, they have Christians should be. Or some people maybe just not coming. You know, what if Noah had been given a quota? He didn't fair to, will he? Maybe so. But Samuel told the people. Didn't change a bit, did it? But God gives us that opportunity. Now, here's the whole crux of it, though. In verse 20 of 1 Samuel 8, it says, they said, no, they want the king, that we may also be like all the nations. So they wanted the all, that was number one. But number two, it says, and that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles. That's two reasons. Okay? They wanted to be like everyone else, and they wanted the king to take all this responsibility and do all the dirty. And I want to tell you that has been the problem with, I think, a lot of religion, religious, even Christianity, as far as churches for a long time. The same sin. Want to be like people. Want to be accepted. Want to be well thought of. And, we'll have certain people that do the work for us, so we don't have to. And that's never the way God has ever intended it, but that's what they thought would happen. The king would go out and go for them, but it wouldn't turn out all that great for them, so we find out. But in church sometimes, is there not a sentiment in some places where, if you're an elder, you've got to do this, a preacher does all this, and then members, they just come feel accused. That's all they need to do. And in some religious groups, they call that the clergy of the laity. And the thing that I have really seen probably in my lifetime is, even in the churches of Christ, we have started skewing more of that mentality. Where there are things that the preachers or elders or maybe deacons do, and then the members, they have a different denomination. And you'll never find that sentiment in the Bible. You'll never find it in the New Testament. In fact, you go and you look at churches that had a history of growing and being strong, and what you'll find is they had a large percentage of people who shared deeply. And it's when we say, and a lot of times we think, well, in order for a church to grow, we got to get a preacher that's just so eloquent, and that'll make a church grow. But that's very short-sighted, because preachers only live a certain lifetime anyway. the church, in order for it to be successful as people of God, we all got to take part. We got to understand that God is there to fight the battles if we can't succeed. Anyway, so he's told to obey. And we're going to see about King Saul. Before we get into that, anyone tell me anything about King Saul? You know, anything at all about Saul?
He was a fine looking young man.
He was a good looking, in fact, he was not only good looking, what else about him? He was tall. Now, so Saul, I've got on here that Saul is one who looks like a king. If you were looking around saying, well, who do we want to be a king? You know, we want somebody to fight about us. Ooh, look at that young man. I mean, he's good looking, he's tall, he's big. Yeah, that's what we want a king. And then David, from outward, didn't look right, but he's one that had the right heart. And then Solomon's the one that had the right wisdom. Although, we're going to see when we get to Solomon, Solomon was the wisest, or the most foolish wise man that ever lived. And so we'll appreciate everyone being here tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are we? Here?
Okay.
Okay, we're good. Welcome to our devotional period tonight for passage reviews. Just a couple of quick announcements. Ladies' Day is Saturday here at the building and fellowship. We utilize the fellowship room as well. Tonight after services, we will need some help moving tables and chairs out of the fellowship building so that the carpets and the tiles can be clean. And then if you happen to have, you live close by, some fans or something like that that we can utilize tomorrow, kind of help dry the carpet and the flooring over there, so that the ladies can go ahead and start decorating as soon as possible. What time are they doing it for?
He hasn't told me yet, it'll be sometime mid-morning, I figure. We'll need some kind of help if we get together, to put tables and chairs back.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow evening, I guess.
Or even sometime. So, if you can help out in that aspect of it, give it maybe you're ready for one of the ladies. Johnny, Susan, and I services this evening. I'll have the devotional tonight. Ken will have our song service. I've asked Rick to word our opening prayer, and Jerry Pryor to word our closing prayer. Is there anything else before we begin? All right.
If you will, let's turn markers on books to number 912. Number 912, 912. Burdens are lifted at Calvary. It was actually in the lead number 908. There's a stranger at the door outside. I probably better not do that. Burdens are lifted at Calvary. We'll mark number 904. Sorry. Then we'll sing, before the opening prayer, we'll sing number 300. 300. Praise Him, praise Him. If you want us to be standing for this song and remain standing for the opening prayer. Number 300. Praise Him, Jesus our blessed Redeemer. Sing over His wonderful love proclaim. Hail Him, hail Him, highest archangels in glory. Strength and honor give to His holy name. Like a shepherd, Jesus will guard His children. In His arms He carries them all day long. Praise Him, tell of His excellent greatness. Praise Him, ever in joyful song. Praise Him, Jesus our blessed Redeemer. Heavenly portals, loud hosannas ring. Jesus, Savior, reigneth forever and ever. Crown Him, prophet and priest and king. Christ is coming, over the world victorious. Power and glory unto the Lord belong. Praise Him, tell of His excellent greatness. Praise Him, ever in joyful song.
Our Father in heaven, we thank you for your love for us. We thank you for Jesus and His life and His death, that He went through all those things and that sacrifice for us. We pray, Father, that as we gather tonight, that we will be mindful of the Spirit that's within us, and that you're with us each day, and that your Word guides us and helps us to do those things that we need to do as your disciples. Pray, Father, for our community and the things that have happened in the last couple of days. We pray for safety for the law enforcement and those who are searching for the young man that's perhaps does some difficult and very terrible things. And we pray for any of those that might be in that vicinity, that all will be safe and that everything will be handled safely where we can return to our normalcy of life each day. Pray, Father, for those our number who we've been bringing before you is ill and still going through treatments and various things. We pray for their health and comfort and that they would gain their health quickly. Pray for Steve as he brings us emotional tonight. Ask you to bless the ladies' day on Saturday. Keep safe those that will be coming and traveling here. And may everyone involved be a good day for them. They would grow in faith. Continue to guide us, Father, and may we be guided. We know that it's very important that we make those choices in our life that we must in order to follow you, to be a disciple. And we pray for strength to do that. Continue to forgive us for our wrongs. We thank you for the blood of Jesus, that we walk in the light as He is in the light each day, that He will take care of our sins. And for the hope of heaven that He gives us. For in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. song for the lesson this evening will be number 23. Number 23, Our God, He is alive. There is beyond the azure blue a God concealed from human sight. He tinted skies with heavenly hue and framed the worlds with His great might. There is a God, He is alive, and in Him we live and we survive. From the start, God. There was a long, long time ago a God whose voice the prophets heard. He is the God that we should know, who speaks from His inspired word. There is a God, He is alive, in Him we live and we survive. From the start, God, He is our God, the great I am. Our God who sung on a tree, a life was willing there to give, that He from sin might set men free, and evermore with Him could live. There is a God, He is alive, in Him we live and we survive. From the start, God, created man. He is our God, the great I am.
I wish the church was more evangelistic. Amen. I wish the church ministered more to every age group. I wish the church encouraged people to become leaders. I wish the church was more visible in the community. I wish the church was more invested in the home. I wish the church provided more fellowship opportunities. I wish the church had a passion for world missions. I wish the church was more attentive to visitors. How many of us have heard, or maybe even used, a term such as this? Yes? No? Never? Sure, we've all heard those things. We've all said those things from time to time. We wish the church was X, Y, or Z. Been thinking about that. And using those terms and saying that, we have to realize, we have to have an understanding that we are the church, at least individual members of it. And we can't exempt ourselves from the church's problems or the church's duties, because we make up the church. So the question we have to ask ourselves, especially when we're thinking, how is the church was more involved in this, or they were more proactive, or whatever the case may be. we should ask ourselves, am I evangelistic? Am I an enthused and engaged worshiper? Do I reach out to all of the ages? Am I present in my community and in my home? Am I attentive to visitors? The church depends upon every member working together. As Jim said tonight, sharing in the works of God. The thing we have to do is get our whole hands involved, our whole selves involved in the duties of the church activities, whatever it may be. And we're doing less of pointing fingers for others to do those types of things. We all have that responsibility. But here's the encouraging thing. And I brought a few items. This is not mine. Everyone know what this is? Toothbrush. Okay. This one's pretty well used, but we know what this is. Scrub brush for dishes, things like that. Okay. This is clean. Just bought this. Just bought this. Does everyone, we all know what this is?
Toilet brush.
Toilet brush. All right. So these, what do these things have in common? These items. Okay, they're all used to clean something. Brush our teeth? No. Toilet bowl only, right? Now, when I was in the military, I did use one of these to get around the base of the toilet and some other things, but,
And you brush your teeth with the same one.
no. But toothbrush, used for teeth. This could be used for a variety of things, I guess, but dishes, stuff like that. But they all do have a commonality. They're all a specific or a special tool to do a specific job or a particular job. These items are used to clean. In 2 Timothy 2:21, the Apostle Paul tells us, if you keep yourself pure, you will be a special utensil or a special tool for honorable use. Your life will be clean and you will be ready for the master to use for every good work. So we too, as Christians, are a special tool. And God intends to use us for a special purpose. Now, if I had an encyclopedia and Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and the Bible, and I asked, which book do we need or would we use to clean and purify ourselves? Of course, the answer would be the Bible. And the other thing that we need to realize is that the Bible has a specific purpose. Not only does it give us knowledge of the truth, but it gives us instruction on how to clean and purify ourselves. And it gives us instruction on how to perform these good works, these things that we sometimes talk about, that we wish the church was more involved in. Initially, I said, I wish the church was more evangelistic. And really, our main purpose on this earth is to be evangelistic, to tell people, to go, to do, to tell people about the gospel, and to bring others to Christ. As Jim said tonight, we can't expect just the deacons, just the elders, the leadership to carry out these tasks. Yes, we should set the example. But it takes all of us working together, finding our talents and our purposes, and allowing God to use us as that special tool, special utensil to bring others to Christ. All the while using this tool for our guidance and our instruction and movement. It's encouraging to know that we do serve a purpose in we look at the big picture. Sometimes we need encouragement, sometimes we need a pat on the back, sometimes we just need a little push. But I want us to be mindful, I want us to remember that what our purpose is, not only as the church, but as individual members of His body. We always offer an invitation song for those who may need the prayers of the church, or maybe they want to change the way their life is going. They need prayers, encouragement, maybe strength. Whatever your need is tonight, if you have a need at all, we ask that you would come as we together stand and sing.
Days are filled with sorrow and care, hearts are lonely and drear. Burdens are lifted at Calvary, Jesus is very near. Burdens are lifted at Calvary, Calvary, Calvary. Burdens are lifted at Calvary, Jesus is very near. Troubled soul, the Savior can see every heartache and tear. Burdens are lifted at Calvary, Jesus is very near. Burdens are lifted at Calvary, Calvary, Calvary. Burdens are lifted at Calvary, Jesus is very near.
Let us pray. Our Father who art in heaven, so thank you, Father, for the ability to come here again on this Wednesday evening, to worship your holy name, and to hear another lesson prepared for your word. Father, I do ask that you go on with us for the rest of this evening. Let's take what we've learned this evening, Father, to heart. Father, I do ask, be thy will that you be with those who need you, that are sick and in pain. I ask that you comfort them in any way possible that you know how. Father, I do ask that no matter what, that we will love you with all of our heart. And to know what Jesus suffered through when he died on Calvary's cross. Father, let's not forget as we go home this evening. Keep us safe while we're on our way home, Father. Forgive us of all our many sins. And I pray this all in Jesus' name. Amen.